around a week later, when I got out of the hospital, me and my mom and we all like went to visit him. At that time, they allowed us to visit him because he was already on his deathbed. And yeah, and then when we saw him, we were shocked at like he was not totally like not the right, like he looked like deathly. And then and then like there was nothing that could be done. They wanted us to like allow them to get him off all this life support and whatever. And so
It's
Sorry.
and he was perfectly healthy. He had no underlying conditions, no diabetes, no heart attack, nothing. Never happened to him. He was healthy in a right weight range. He was strong. He was like just like a model person at age 65.
It's called medical murder. It's the protocol that killed him, because if they got paid, if there was a COVID admission, they got paid. If they used remdesivir, they got paid. They put him on a vent, got paid if they sent him out through the morgue. And the average across the country, according to the researcher, was $268,000 a person.
Yeah,
that was the average.
Yeah, I've talked to like other hospital friends who work in hospital administration. They say, oh, like he shouldn't have been on the ventilator. Like that was
severe.
Like yeah.
And they never put you on a ventilator, right? Thank God.
No, thank goodness. Yeah.
And that's why we created these bracelets, Carolyn and I wear it all the time because God forbid you have to go to the hospital for anything. You have a car accident, something happens, they take you there. This bracelet says that you are, and actually I'm going to show it to you a little close up. But Carolyn, can you tell them how they can get in touch? And they'll be in the show notes today. If anybody wants them, they are for sale, because what's going on right now, it's really important. I'm trying to do this.
Yeah, it's a legal directive that's saying they cannot give you remdesivir, which the other word for it is fentanyl. And it's very important that everybody wear one, because especially with this new virus, it would not surprise me at all if they keep the remdesivir thing going.
Money off it. Ridiculous amount of money, because it's still on patent. I mean, it should be buried forever and never used again, because there's never been a positive outcome from remdesivir. They also use the terminology Veklury. Really important that you know the off-label names for these drugs too, so that you don't get taken. But it's and you guys saw it. We also have this. Before we go into Julie's story, I just want to show this quilt. Carolyn, can you tell everybody a little bit about this quilt that was done? I mean, this is only a little drop in the bucket.
So my group of victims who are I wore red for their blood, sweat, and tears that they have put into this fight and what they've gone through, because they lost loved ones to the remdesivir protocol or the baricitinib protocol, whatever the hospital deadly protocol was. And they got together, and they're still together. They're still fighting, even though it's been years and years and years. And my heart breaks for, the ones that lost children, being Mother's Day yesterday. I was thinking about Denise and Jamie and Audrey and Chastity. I have been going through Mother's Day without their daughters, young daughters in their, 20s and 30s that died. But they put a quilt together with each square has a name of the victim with where they're from and the day they died. And it's just a beautiful quilt. And we're working on getting that into the White House or to HHS. We're just waiting on the right time, because there's so much going on in the world. It's not going to get the attention that it deserves, with the Iran thing going on, the hantavirus going on, the Strait of Hormuz closed, the gas prices. I mean, I feel like it's just going to be, shoved to the side. But when things slow down a little bit, we're going to get that in there display so people can see the victims are still fighting and how many there are. There's only about, 300 on that quilt, but there's thousands and thousands. And these stories cannot be forgotten. These people did not die in vain. They were murdered by this protocol. And we have to keep this conversation in the public square and talking about it. Just because we think COVID is over, their lives aren't over, because their loved ones were killed. And they live this nightmare every single day. And you can see their stories on chbmp.org. where we've documented countless stories of just video testimony of these people telling their stories of losing their loved ones.
Yeah, I remember, Carolyn, when you would interview these people every day, she was crying her eyes out, because the stories are just